Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I'm extremely excited today because yesterday we managed to close the daily candle with an actual breakout. And this breakout is not any breakout. This is a breakout from a structure that has been keeping us trapped as a resistance for 65 days. The same way that we went all this way up here and we were in an uptrend for even longer. We've been now with a declining momentum. And on this candle here, we are above the resistance. But on the 4-hour, we are forming this pattern, which is worrying me from 2 points of view. So I'm expecting to see some sort of pullback following this breakout that is going to tell us something very important. Are we going to retest the breakout and confirm that it's a healthy breakout, which might mean that we're going for higher prices and a potential all-time high? Or is this going to be a fake out? In today's video, we're going to cover the levels that could get invalidated this breakout. If those levels are broken, it might signal a red alert, meaning that we are back into the range and we might make a lower low. Remember that we left the work half done in terms of taking the liquidity to the downside. There's still quite a lot of liquidity concentrated around 55k. Let's discuss all of these things. Let's find the targets. Let's look at the liquidity. I'm also going to show you what's going on with the alts that are currently showing quite a lot of strength. The Bitcoin dominance still is halfway through. By Sunday, it's going to tell us whether we're going to get some room for some pumps on the altcoins. I'm talking about something larger than what you're seeing today. This is nothing. This is just a small recovery. We have doubled the views in the month of April, but many of you haven't yet clicked on subscribe, and it will really help the channel if you spend that extra second doing that. And by the way, I have made the tier picnic on the memberships on the tradingparrot.com absolutely free as a way to say thank you for all the extra views that we are getting in the channel. So if you want to say thank you, just go ahead and hit the like and subscribe, or open an account on either of these exchanges that are BingX, KYC friendly, or OKX. Both of them are giving substantial amount of bonuses and discounts in trading fees. The links are in the description. Yesterday we were discussing what is the path to recovery. We talked about a couple of signals. The 3 of the signals have been profitable. Leverage squeeze number 2 has been extremely accurate at pointing out whenever there's too many shorts, implying that there can be a short squeeze, an impulsive move that liquidates all the shorts. This signal was triggered at 58, and from 58 it has done almost 9% already just in a couple of days. I also gave you this signal from an accumulation of bullish divergences coming from different oscillators. The signal is called the hive. This is the bullish one, and on the hour it was accurate. Also on the 4-hour it's been really accurate. Notice that the bullish divergences, and we keep monitoring the advanced NVT signal, an on-chain analysis metric that has been significantly improving my entries for accumulation. Being below the green dotted line is already great for accumulation, and being below the green line is a rare opportunity to accumulate a lot more. We are looking forward to see this line coming above the green line. That gives a slightly more conservative entry if you do not feel yet confident accumulating at these levels. Let's quickly recapitulate what we have been saying in the past week. First, we have this dump from here that I used to forecast the one that went to 33. I left an arrow forecasting the move towards 32, and we went to 33. When we landed on 33, I said that I'm expecting lower lows in terms of the RSI, but I do not expect that to happen straight from the 33 into the 20s. As opposed to that, what I was saying that I'm expecting is from 33 to go and challenge the resistance and potentially have a breakout. If not having the breakout at the level of 43, 41, 42, depending on at what time we hit the resistance, I said that that could be critical. On Twitter, I covered this move by the hour. As soon as we landed in the resistance here, I mentioned to you guys, we are below the resistance, we are challenging it, we can get rejected and get a move to a lower low in the RSI. Or if we get lucky, a double bottom, a potential later challenge of the resistance once again. Things went really well for the longs because we managed to break the resistance. We closed the day at 47 RSI. This looks like a healthy breakout so far. And I will expect the RSI to eventually challenge this resistance here at 53. But in order to get there, the RSI will have to retest the breakout and confirm 100% to all the traders that we are going higher. And that is going to scare the hell out of the shorts. The shorts are going to start to panic closing their positions. Some of them are going to just wait until they get liquidated. And that's how we can get to 53 and higher. But if we lose those levels that I'm going to mention later on the video on the 4 hour, then the shorts are going to take back control and make this breakout look like a fake out. And once things start looking weak again, they won't have any problem with pushing the RSI back to our lower low here. So be very careful with these levels. Let's cover this on the 4 hour. Here is where everything develops into the daily. As you can see, the RSI challenged this resistance here. It had a little bit of struggle on the 3rd of May, and then it broke out and it went to the next resistance. That next resistance is a very important one because it spans from very far in time, more specifically from the 28th of February. We have touched it 3 times, and this time we are in progress on breaking out once again. This could be a rejection, this could be a breakout. We need to be keeping attention at the RSI on the 4 hour at 63. I would like this candle to close at an RSI of 65 to 66 to confirm that we are also breaking out this global resistance on the 4 hour. My source of concern on the 4 hour is if the RSI breaks below this support or also this support there. Basically entering in this area here. Entering that area there puts things at a higher risk of the daily turning into a fake out. If this trend line gets broken or the global one here after a breakout and we enter back into this range, I will be the first one to let you know on my Twitter account. You can find me with the handle Trading Parrot. In terms of the alts on the 4 hour, I'm also seeing a pattern that is mildly concerning. As you can see, in this period, in late April, we were doing this pattern, and once we lost the trend line, things got really scary for the alts. The market reduced by almost 1/3 of market cap in total 3. I did tell you on Twitter, I mentioned it on the videos, that if we lose something like this that has been accumulating so many times on top of the trend line, that a dump can be really painful. And that's precisely what happened. Now that we're going from higher, we're getting very close to the same level from where we dumped last time. We need to keep all our eyes on what's the interaction between the RSI and this trend line in terms of total 3. If you are trading alts and you have a long open, or if you are looking for an entry to short the market, I am also setting alerts that are going straight into my email whenever we break below this level. I see my email and I post it on Twitter to let you know that things could get a little bit scary again. To prevent that, what I want to see is a little bit more climbing here once again, and as long as we keep respecting this trend line, we can still have a little bit more steam to develop to the upside. A very interesting development we are seeing on the weekly on Bitcoin. If you've been watching my videos at least in the past week, you're gonna remember that the weekly RSI was very close to touch the circle throughout the week when the price was reaching near 55,000. In the same week, we have seen that we have touched home, and right now we are back above the opening of the candle. That's why we have a green candle so far in the weekly in the price. If we were to close the weekly with this sort of candle, this is extremely bullish. That means that we are repeating the same plate that we had on the 22nd of January when we also print this hanging man there. we touch our support band that is defined by very specific levels of RSI. Past performance doesn't guarantee future performance, so this might have a completely different outcome of this. Do not expect a run necessarily of 32K to the upside right after this candle, but we have to mention that this candle is as bullish, if not more bullish, than the one that we have on the 22nd, and also the one that we have on the 6th of March here. These reversal patterns are constantly occurring during the bull market. So no matter how bearish you are, you have to admit that the pattern is repeating once again. And I am bearish. I think there is liquidity to the downside. There's enough arguments to say that we should cool down, but as a swing trader at the same time, I have to continue respecting what the chart is saying. And if we close the week with this sort of candle, that is very bullish. If we were to continue to the upside, the liquidity right above us coming from fair value gaps is located at 65.2 and later at 68K roughly. But as I mentioned, on the 4-hour is high likely that we get a small pullback just because this move on the 4-hour has been quite big. If you compare it to this move, this one here is very similar. So it's either about to get exhausted and shorts are expecting something like this. The 4-hour behavior on the RSI is key to tell us that instead of that, it could be something like this and then like that. The next big pack of liquidity is located at 67. This is coming now from CoinGlass, followed by 71. That is the largest one in the last 6 months. The distribution of the liquidity of the past 30 days starts to look a little bit more balanced, but still it's slightly more heavy on the upside. Funding rates in the past day have been fluctuating into the negative, indicating that the shorts are in big risk of getting liquidated. And if we observe the liquidity live in the order book right now, you can see that the orders are chasing the price with every step of the way. They move from 56, follow the price at 58, and right now they are once again 2K below the price. We could say that is 4 layers of 500. Remember that I have an expectation that we should be testing the breakout. So the most happy path to achieve that is if the price comes here into 61, somewhere around there, it gets bought up. It holds the VWAP that is currently sitting perfectly at 60K. So one of these two levels hopefully is going to hold the price to make a higher low and to continue to the upside. Breaking these two levels is going to make it much more difficult for the longs to continue believing that this can carry on further up. You can see here in material charts how these levels became slightly more yellow right when we were bottoming, and now we went into 63K where there is some sort of resistance there. The liquidity left below 55 is still substantial, so that's why I'm still keen for that outcome of getting taken before we actually go for any ideas of all-time highs. As I promised you, I'm going to show you some setups and how the alts are doing currently. The only pattern I'm seeing right now that is extremely bullish was the TRX one. I mentioned that if Bitcoin starts pushing higher, it won't break out, and that's precisely what happens. We're still below the resistance. It's not getting sold out, it's just going sideways. Pepe broke our resistance and it made a move in the past 24 hours of 8%, making a higher high here on the RSI. WIF is currently breaking out from this resistance. Be very careful because the previous time that it did this, it got rejected and it went back below the resistance. In terms of momentum, the breakout seems very healthy. As you can see here, it's pointing up with 2 candles to the upside. R is in the process of challenging the resistance. It's been able to hold support. I would like to see R being able to break this trend line of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. Currently, as you can see, is below the resistance. So if you see that R on the daily goes above 55 and it closes the daily like that, it could make a big move. But again, be very careful because we are in an area that there's been countless rejections at those levels. SHIB is also showing some strength, and even though it lost the support, it could go once again to retest it as resistance. Many coins were showing either inverse cup and handle, like for example Theta, FED, some of them some sort of bearish patterns, like some deformed version of a head and shoulder inverse as well, but many of them are invalidating the pattern. And the way to do that, for example, in here, with Theta, you have the cup and handle inverted that touches the support. And what I want to see is a move towards the high of the handle and then a breakout from there. And the reason is because this pattern, my friends, here is a double bottom. This is the neck of the double bottom and the target is the high of the W. So if you see patterns on your coins that are bearish like this, they can turn into a bullish pattern and they can go and challenge a target that can go as high as the full high of the inverse bearish pattern. Let's go with the example of ADA. ADA looks like a very bearish pattern like this. If we go above this, we could target 0.68. Of course, for that, we need to break above this trend line. You can see that render is doing something very similar. Once again, we have a bearish pattern, some sort of inverse head and shoulder, and the price is on the way to challenge 9.1. 9.1 is the neck of the W, and if we break above this, we could be heading towards 10 to 11 in terms of the price. Today, Bitcoin is on the top #1 of alt rank on Lunar Crash because it's showing quite a very strong move to the upside. I remind you that on Gainium, the bot platform, now we have introduced pair selection, which means that you can use any of these metrics to automate which coins you want to trade with bots. That's available to all VIP members. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.